Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I'd like to point out back behind me, the cottonwood tree now has leaves all of a sudden, just like that. Today we're going to be playing with some new makeup items. Some of them I am very on the fence about. Some I know I like. There are a few that I have not yet tried, so it's kind of a mixed bag. But I wanted to do this video. I mentioned doing it a few videos back, and a lot of you said, yeah, I'd still like to see that, even though, I don't know, it doesn't seem like a particularly like shopping for new makeup crazy time, does it? But still, there have been some new things come out, a few things I've gotten in PR, and I just really like to try them out for you. So here we go. My skin has already been prepped and moisturized, and the first thing we're going to use is this product from Tarte. It's the Maracujá Tinted Hydrator, and because I have had really good luck with some different lightweight tinted moisturizer, BB creamish type products lately, I really wanted to try this. Plus, I know I love that Maracujá creaseless concealer, right? So I really wanted to try it. I got sent this in PR and it was a much too dark shade, so I went ahead and I ordered it in what I thought was my proper shade, and it is. It's light neutral, but this product is extremely light coverage. Like, I don't know, it makes the skin look kind of pretty and glowy, but it doesn't add much else. I put like a generous, I don't know, not just a pea-sized amount, like the biggest pea you've ever seen sized amount. And now I'm gonna blend that out with my little Real Techniques friend. And you're gonna see that I look really hydrated and glowy after this is all blended in, but I can still end up seeing pretty much every problem area. Plus, thank you ColourPop, I still somehow have like 3 little pieces of glitter still surviving in my left inner corner. But I mean, I can't say like it's not doing what it claimed. It's called a tinted hydrator. It is tinting my skin and it is hydrating. It's just like, I don't know, this is my skin with a splash more color and no more coverage and quite a bit more hydration. So I don't know, it's kind of nice. It has its nice qualities, but I wouldn't say it's doing as much for me as some different products that I really do like that also do the hydration thing and also do the radiance thing. Definitely not doing near what the Estee Lauder Futurist is doing, and still not even doing as much as like a Nude Sticks tinted cover is doing. So I don't know how many of you guys have this stuff, if you like it, what you think about it, but I had a little bit, I don't know, higher expectation for it. Then Too Faced has a new concealer. It's in a little pot and it's called the Matte Instant Coverage Concealer. So I have this in the shade Petal. It looks ever so slightly peachy, so I kind of like, you know, was thinking this would be really good for me. And I've got this new Mr. Cover Up concealer brush from Too Faced as well. It's kind of a little bit pointed. Can you see that it comes to kind of a point there? Very dense, but not super big. This also smells very peachy. It's like, you know, the peach palette, if you're familiar with that level of peachy scent. So I'm going to apply this here to the dark circles because I got some for sure. And also just anywhere I want to brighten. It has a nice like kind of moisture level to it, but yet it's not really goopy and like super duper tacky. Think way back to the original Erase Paste. Remember how that would like have peaks in it, you know? It's not that level of moisture. And remember, they call this a matte concealer, so they're going to want it to have a pretty, you know, even matte finish on the skin. So I start blending it in, and I don't know if it's the shade, maybe a little too light, I don't know. Maybe I'm expecting it because it has that little peachiness in tone. I'm expecting more out of it to actually correct my dark circles, but in reality, if they're pretty dark, I feel like I still end up seeing them through. And also this brush, it's too small for me, you know? I feel like I need something thicker just to swipe over larger areas. Here's where it shines, the nose crease. But do I need to buy a whole entire brush for my nose crease? I don't think so. That's its shining moment. It just happened. Okay, back to here. I just like something bigger and thicker to kind of go over it and just give me one even stroke. That Real Techniques brush would be doing the job a little better, honestly. But still, you can see what kind of coverage it's giving. I'm still looking a little cloudy down there in the under eye area. Texture-wise, though, I'm not really complaining about this because it has a little bit of moisture, but it does come away with a nice, like, even matte finish, you know? know? So I do think it's combining two really good worlds there, because a dewy, sticky looking finish can look a little less perfect, but yet they're still giving this product enough moisture to feel good on the under eye area. I just think maybe something about the tone or the overall coverage level just isn't quite enough for me. So, next up we're gonna move on to a new drugstore thing that I've been playing with lately. It's from Hard Candy, and it's the Translucent Sheer Envy No Flash Powder. So this powder really kind of kicks up a lot of excess powder. You feel like you're in a little snow flurry when you go into it. Definitely tap off the excess. When I dab it on my skin, it's yet another thing, kind of like that little e.l.f. powder I used in the Target video. It's one of these translucent type powders where I feel like it's maybe doing more harm than good. Like, all right, so it doesn't do anything funky when I take a picture of myself. That's nice, but just as is, sitting on my skin, I see more powder than I need to be seeing. Like, I look up at the tip of my nose and I can tell what I've just done there. We don't want to leave evidence really of the powder, do we? We just want the powder to like mattify, even, do the basic powder tasks, but we don't really want to see the powder. So I am kind of deliberately really trying to press this on with this e.l.f. small tapered brush. And I don't know, it's not really something I'd recommend. Again, Rimmel Stay Matte, they've got it down. They've got a powder that you can put on, you can get that matte look, you can maybe add a hint more coverage, but you're not gonna be seeing powder, powder, powder. Next is bronzer. I don't really have a brand spanking new one, so I think we're gonna go to Rimmel Natural Bronzer. We're just gonna go as old as possible. This is the one called Sunlight. I did use this in a recent video, and sometimes I get in my head like, oh, I need a nice deep bronzer, you know, but this kind of really light bronzer looks really good on me when I contour with it like that. Not to brag like, oh, it looks really good on me. It comes off well with my skin tone, I guess. See, I feel like I catch myself at certain angles and I'm just seeing, oh, there she is. Hello. I can't be fully satisfied with the concealer that's leaving me in that shape, you know? How many other people are doing makeup during this whole shutdown, like stay-at-home situation? How many of you are getting up and like maybe you've got extra time so you're doing more with your makeup, or do you find yourself doing less? Where do you stand? Who am I talking to out here? For me, I mean, you got to keep in mind, like I've had some people ask me like during videos I've posted during this time frame, and they're like, so do you do makeup every day? This hasn't really made my life as a stay-at-home parent and work from home person that much different, and I still did makeup every day then. And this is kind of like, you know, my job. That's kind of what I do, even though it doesn't seem like work. It is sort of a career for me. So yeah, I happily get up and I do makeup and I do love it. But I just like to know if you're getting up and doing it out of a sense of necessity or just kind of like rejuvenated with fun because you maybe have time. I don't know. Okay, for the blush, everything is everywhere. I need to clean this area this weekend. For the blush, we're going to use the Mulan blush from ColourPop. ColourPop has a beautiful Mulan collection. I've been playing with some of the pieces. There are two different blushes, and this is the one called Matchmaker, and it's one of those blushes that kind of looks like bleh, like nothing. It's got a little fine shimmer in it. Then there's another one called Good Luck Charm. And I feel like this looks even more bronzery, and it gives off, I mean, it's still blushy, but very warm, and it gives off a little more sparkle on the skin. I'm not super huge on that one, but I do like Matchmaker, because check this out, like you got to see this in action. It looks like this. But look at this, like, where the heck is this kind of peachiness coming from? Like, I love it, but how? So cool. But for me, I would still, even with this one, they've put in what look like little shimmer flecks. Can you see how it's got like a fleck of shimmer running through it? I would just like an overall satin finish in the texture, like the way a lot of different CoverGirl blushes are, where you just see like a sheen in the blush, not a sparkle in the blush. This doesn't translate in this one a lot to my cheeks, but just a preference thing there. But it's warm, it's got kind of a peachiness. Then for highlight, this is a kind of new highlight. I've had it on hand for a while. I'm not sure I've ever used it in a video, but it's a newish one from Milani, and it's called called the Baked Highlighter in the shade Dolce Perla. This was the first thing I grabbed when I was trying to come up with a dupe for Benefit's Cookie. But this was actually a little cool and icier in comparison, but it was kind of on point with the level of shimmer and like kind of the texture of the product, you know? So I'm gonna pop some of that on there and look nice and dewy fresh today. But I feel like the skin sort of needs it because we gave ourselves this drink of moisture with the Maracujá stuff, right? And then we slapped on this like white powder and now we give it all back. Big highlighter tip, don't ignore the forehead. Don't go crazy on the forehead, but give a little highlight to the forehead because I feel like my entire face looks 10 times more radiant when I go beyond just the cheekbones for highlighting. Like go sort of to the temple, like look at this area above the brow. For me on my forehead, like, okay, the forehead curves back this way, so what's coming up and kind of hitting the light is happening right here. Here and here are kind of in the in-between, like let a little highlight come there and it will look really natural and really just placed perfectly, I think. Now also from the Maracujá stuff, this Miracle Mist. This is very satisfying, very interesting to me. This is not your typical setting spray. It's in a can and it's got a little sprayer on here that's gonna give you like an insanely fine mist. Just watch. It's the finest mist ever, and yet you feel like you've really gotten a lot. You also feel when you start talking and inhaling that you're taking it straight in. But I like that effect. The only thing is I feel a little more out of control with this kind of a mist, and I don't want it to get all up in my hair. The hair produces enough oil these days as it is, but it is super duper fine. I think the only other time I've tried a mist like this, maybe it was Morphe, but I don't remember that being this, a mist that's practically like a haze you're walking through outside. Like on a foggy day, you walk through and you're getting a gentle mist. It's this. It's crazy. So here's the skin. I do think the Maracujá tinted hydrator, it's something where if I pair it with concealer and stuff, and I've got powder, and I've got those additional face steps that I go on with, like your blush, bronzer, highlight, it's gonna look all right, and like things are gonna work out. But you saw this didn't give really any help to the concealer, and the concealer couldn't fully like tackle the under eye, I didn't think. Maybe if I had a base product that was giving me a little more coverage, maybe things would have worked out a little differently. See what I'm saying? We're gonna do some eyebrows, and the thing I'm gonna use is actually not new, but it's probably gonna be its last go round. You see how that it's barely sticking up out of the packaging here. My e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow. The shade is neutral brown, and it's been real, it's been fun. We've used it a lot. It hasn't worn down actually as fast as I thought it might have, but skinny brow pencils, about the easiest darn thing to go through if you like the satisfaction of using up products. And then I realized recently that I have an ABH Brow Wiz still hanging around that I've had for quite some time, so I might go to that and try to take down that one next. But the tone of this e.l.f. one has been really good. Like I said, the texture is good. It's not too soft, but it's soft enough to like get the job done fairly quickly. Do I like it better than their Instant Lift? Ultimately, I think no. Instant Lift is just like really special and really cheap. You know, good tones in that as well, but I can kind of burn through the process a bit faster. What are you guys doing for like Easter Sunday? I learned that in our area, well, I've known for some time, it's well known that we have this giant cross that's off in kind of a rural area, Cross of Peace, and it's huge, and it's like one of the most picturesque things really in nature in southern Illinois. Obviously the cross is man-made, but it's just in the most beautiful setting. And every Easter they do a sunrise service out there. But now they said they're gonna carry that on one of our local TV stations live, and it's gonna be with minimal, like, I don't know, participants, I guess. So that will be cool that I can at least catch that. Bub's got a real knack for making delicious breakfast tacos, so we might do that in the morning. And then I think we're gonna have some of that fettuccine Alfredo, as mentioned in my previous video, with the sous vide chicken. It's just a real basic recipe, but really yummy. Now I'm gonna prime my lids, and I'm gonna be using a new little eyeshadow product here, so I wanna go in with my A game, my Milani eyeshadow primer. And then guys, it's this. It's the newest Petite Pro from Viseart. It's the Pro Chouchou, C-H-O-U-C-H-O-U, Chouchou. It's really stinking bright. I've swatched them. I know they're intense. I'm a little scared though. There's not a lot of depth. There's not really any real depth in this, so it's gonna be a bright look. Thought it might be fun to try this all together, and no, I didn't even plan that I had on this little hot pink cardigan for this look. I'm gonna go to this shade right here. I just stuck my brush in without showing you, but that one, and let's just do that in the crease. Okay, see that shade, even that was not a lot of darkness and depth. This is just gonna have to get bright, I guess. Very bright. I take the pink to the crease. It's so bright. Having that little bit of brown or tan in there, I think might be toning the pink down a little bit. I don't know. I feel all out of my element right now. Take a blending brush, I'll just kind of go over that. I'll use this matte cream. Nice, easy matte cream. Okay, all right. Then what? Maybe we add a little bit of this like tangerine sort of color. Ooh, that one came to party, yes. Kind of like boost up the overall color of the outer corner. It's like using a Huda Neons palette or something, guys. Okay, now I've got to see what this shimmery pink is gonna be like. Let's, oh, I also wanted to see this one too because this is like a duochrome sort of shade. It looks like a bronze, but it's got like gold and pink in it. It shifts. And so does this one down here. This has like gold, green, and peach in it. Oh my word. Let's put this in the middle. Holy cow. Sorry, got in my own little world there for a second. My girls are gonna love this look. They're gonna love how pinky this is. It'll be the first words out of Biddy's mouth when I get her out of bed. Mommy, I like your eyeshadow. Okay, now let's layer in. Let's use some of this weird kind of like, is it peach? Is it green? Oh wow, it's kind of like golden, greenish peach. We just went into like another dimension with this look today. I don't know. It's like this kind of thing is fun for me on a one-time basis, but how often do I see myself reaching for this and pulling it out again? I think it's cool that Viseart did something fun. So many of these little palettes are pretty practical. Oh, but what about like, I want to use everything, but everything is shouting at me. You know what I mean? There's not like one muted person willing to just sit down. I want to see this silver too, just somehow, maybe right in between. There is officially too much happening on the lids. I don't love the silver being right there. The silver should have gone around the inner corner, yeah. Okay, we're gonna take more of the shimmery pink and kind of undo that. There is oh my gosh, there's a ton of fallout on my cheeks. A ton. I didn't see that happening. Woo. Okay, I'm gonna take this little E47 from Sigma, and now we'll go into that silver that is just really like bright. Maybe put some of that around the inner corner. I don't know. Then the outer lid needs maybe a little something out there because I didn't really extend my pink all the way to the outside. Maybe the orange again. Ooh, that is so pretty. The tone of that, like you cannot argue with how pretty that tone is. But yeah, you get this palette, nothing's going to really be dark. You will have no choice but to make it bright unless you pull something else, some other outsider product in. Okay, on the lower lash line, like guys, I don't really want to be rimming the eye in pink. So maybe we take some of this Wild Card bronzy shade and let that come down there. But even that has a little like pinky reflective quality. Who am I with this look on? Needs some blending. The colors weren't really hard to blend, especially like the mattes looked really pretty. Maybe this is all gonna make sense to me once I get some eyeliner on and some mascara, right? I'm using Milani Stay Put Matte because it's here and it's handy and I need that level of boundary on my eye right now. Make me feel safe again. I don't think I'll do a wing. I'll just bring it on down. Now I'm going to curl the lashes. And guys, I've been getting really into lash primers lately. I've got two that I'm going between. One's the violet one, that's what it's called actually, from Mulan, and one is the Cils Booster XL from Lancome. So I'll use one of these two, and then I've also got a new little black primer from Estee Lauder waiting in the wings, which has been pretty much the long-time favorite, but I'm kind of liking the way either of these bulk up my lashes. Today I think I'm going to use the Lancome because I've been using the Mulan quite a bit. The Mulan I think might throw a little more product on your lashes all at once, but I'm just feeling like I can get really satisfied with the look of my lashes, like extra satisfied with the use of a primer. It's kind of taken me back to my L'Oreal Double Extend days. Remember that stuff? Sometimes you gotta look a little bit sideways at it so you can see the white and make sure that you've kind of like got enough coating, but then let these dry. Do not immediately apply your mascara. So while we let those dry, I guess we'll do our last step. This is the final like element of that. Sorry, I got a lot of pink shadow where I was dusting off my brush here. Final new element of the whole Maracujá stuff from Tarte. It's the Glossy Lip Oil in sheer pink. So this I have not even tried. Does it give us any color? Oh, it smells, what? That smells amazing. Holy cow. That is fruity as all get out. Like, I know, oh my gosh. Smells so good. Like, so sweet. Like, I am a Skittle now. Oh my gosh. This look has taken me for a ride today, I can tell you that much. Okay, it's one of those things where when it says lip oil, it means like a gel feeling, normal gloss texture that's maybe been infused with some oil. Not really enough color going on there. I'll let that sink in while I do the mascara and then maybe blot some off and go on with an actual color. When they said sheer pink, they meant it, didn't they? Then I think I'm gonna pop my CoverGirl Exhibitionist on top here. Really been liking this mascara. As I've said in my favorites video, I think it's aged really well. Gotten better with time. But the reason why you want to wait, I mean, obviously you don't want the light shade mixing into your mascara formula and making it kind of grayish and dull looking. But also you want that primer to become one with your lashes and really extend them and lengthen them. And if you go in with your mascara too soon, you kind of ruin that process. And you know, you'll just swipe over it and it all kind of goop away. And I will do a little Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions down here, just for a little sense of balance. And this stuff, you know, it's feeling like a decent texture, kind of thick, but I don't mind that. My lips did need some moisture, but it just, I want a real color on there today. With further thought, I'm thinking maybe I go nude. I'm thinking about one of these Revlon Ultra HDs. I think this might be good because I don't know that I want to go in a complete matchy for the hot pink. I mean, I'm even wearing a friggin' hot pink cardigan today. Let's use the shade called Act Natural. It's got like kind of a peachy nudie thing going on. Let's see what we think. These, by the way, absolutely love the formula. I've done a full video on these. Just incredible, full-colored, opaque, glossy, the closest thing you're going to find from the drugstore to the Bobbi Brown Crushed Liquid Lip. I kind of think that's what's necessary here. I mean, I think it needs to be a little more muted, maybe. And then kind of do your blinky trick where you blink down onto your finger and let those lashes like sort of recurl. And look at that. I mean, the length. Woo! So we're done now. The eyes, I just don't really know about this. The pops are fun, but for my personal taste, I could have used them being just a little more anchored by something with a bit more depth. But it is like, it's bright, it's springy and fun. I can't argue with the quality of the shadows, although the pink shimmer will produce some fallout if you're not careful, which I was not. It's not gonna stack up there with like my favorite Petite Pro palettes. Like, I love the original so much. But did I have fun throwing some different colors on my eyes? I did. The various things from the Maracujá line here, I think the spray is really interesting. It is just the finest mist ever. It comes out in that continuous mode. So I think think you kind of got to probably get a feel for it to make sure it's not like getting up in your hair, getting all over yourself, but that's really cool. This, while I do think it was the proper shade, I think it gave me moisture, I think it gave me glow. Compared to other things I've really liked using lately, I think it needs a little more coverage. This, total skip, really. Many things can moisturize your lips. It's not giving you some super amazing tint. I'm not huge on this concealer from Too Faced. That really wasn't doing enough for me. This powder, I would let that go. I'm not having a ton of loves in this video. I mean, I love the lip color, but that was nothing new. My lash primer, the Mulan blush, that's a nice pick if you're looking for something from the Mulan line. Again, that's the one in the shade Matchmaker. It looks like a whole lot of nothing there in the pan, but great on the cheeks, I think. I would also even skip the Too Faced concealer brush because I just think it's too small. I'm much more satisfied with something that can really sweep across the skin and carry the product around a little further. But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. Are there some products out there that are newish things that you've been kind of intrigued about? Let me know. And thank you guys so much for your time. I will see you again very soon. Bye.